importance of caste data, caste census data, which is recently published by the government. So what is the importance of caste data? So the importance of caste data is prelims syllabus is current affairs and mains as well as GS paper 1, Indian geography and society. Something is here census. Okay, so here is the mains question. How do you explain the statistics that show that sex ratio in tribes in India is more favorable to women than the sex ratio among scheduled caste? So such kind of, here we require lots of data to solve the question, right? Okay, the importance of caste data. So here basically the articles is all about that we are not supporting to the OBC since 1927, or we can say 1931. There was only caste census was released for the OBC caste. So from that times we are not having separate caste census for the OBC, which is the other backward caste. So OBC, which is the All India quota, seats for the national eligibility cum entrance test, any NET. The same judgment, the Supreme Court reiterated that reservation of backward classes were not an exemption but an extension of the principle of equality under Article 15(1). The principle of equality comes under Article 15(1) of the Constitution. Though the intention of reservation policy is good, lack of accurate demographic data about various castes and made the present quota allocation and caps illogical and arbitrary. So in this background, there has been increasing demand of enumerating caste-based census in India. So there is the pros and cons in the caste census. The caste-based census timeline is pre-independence if we talk about. So pre-independence, if you are talking about pre-independence era, 1871 census was the first attempt to measure the population and enumerate caste census data across India. As we can see, 1871 census was the first attempt to measure the population and enumerate caste data across India. So as we can see, census was the last exercise of caste census data. Okay. And what about the post-independence? So Union of India after independence decided as a matter of policy not to enumerate caste-wise population other than SC and ST. So somehow OBC has not to be counted. So thus India's largest caste block, the other backward classes, OBC, other backward classes, have not figured in the any census from 1951 to 2011. It means OBC are deprived in this policy. As we can say, in the absence of such a census, there is no proper estimate of the population of OBCs, which is other backward caste, various groups within the OBC and others. But as per Mandal Commission report, government extended reservation benefits to the OBCs. The OBCs as per 1931 census, according to 1931 census, amounted to 52% of the Indian population. 52% of Indian population was on that time was OBC, and which 27% reservation was given to them, which means the OBC are the creamy layer, non-creamy layer. So we can say with the help of Mandal Commission, government extended reservation, and 1931 census there were 52% of the Indian population, based on which 27% reservation was given to them. So that's why this data is somehow very important in the terms of socio-economic caste census, because SECC 2011 was the first caste-based census since 1931. So since a very long period of time, as we can say, it was conducted by the Ministry of Rural Development, MORD, and the Ministry of Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation, HUPA. So first socio-economic caste census 2011, it was conducted not by Ministry of Home Affairs, it was conducted by the MORD, which is Ministry of Rural Development, and the Ministry of Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation, HUPA, in rural and urban areas as well. This was the first time such a comprehensive exercise has been carried out for both rural and urban India. Why we need for caste-based data? Because estimation changes the demography. As we can see, the earlier the present reservation and other welfare schemes entitlement to the OBC are not still based on the population estimated, still based on the population based on 931. As we can see, अभी भी 931 के जो सेंसस है उसके अकॉर्डिंग हम ओबीसी के जो वेलफेयर स्कीम्स है वो अपने कंट्री में हम चला रहे हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई गवर्नमेंट इज फोकसिंग ऑन दैट, bring about social justice. So help government's welfare schemes reach to the most backward and deprived caste and that have been marginalized till date. Because of the reason we do not have any caste census data for the particular or the backward caste, which have a majority of people in India which have belonging to the other backward caste as well. So because the demography has been changed earlier, the presence reservation and the other welfare schemes entitlement to the OBC help rationalize reservation policy. So as per need of a specific caste or community, land fragmentation and decades of agriculture stagnation have turned many upper caste landowners so into marginalized farmers, whereas rising rural wage has benefited some of the backward classes including Dalits. So we can see, if we are talking about right to equality, right? So which has enumerated in Article 15.1. So we must think about where is right to equality. If there is no justice, no equality, because the upper caste landowners as because we can say land fragmentation, and we can see lots of the farmers and the maximum land owned by the upper caste. So we are not giving to the equality of that particular caste. So agricultural stagnation have turned many upper caste landowners into marginal farmers. So whereas rising rural wages has benefited some of the backward classes including Dalits as well. So now we can say the demand for reservation. Why they are demanding for reservation? There has been demand for to expand OBC reservation as per the present 50% cap is arbitrary. And inclusion of dominant caste like we can say like Jats, Kapas, Patidars, Marathas, etc. into OBC category. Often these demands are not based on scientific evidence. So caste-based socio-economic census will bring the real picture. OBC subcategorization is that OBC membership is a large and heterogeneous and with vast intra-caste difference in socio-economic condition. As a result, some better off groups among OBC caste have cornered a disproportionately large share of seats reserved for OBC. This has given rise to demand of subclassification of various caste groups among OBC. Caste-based socio-economic census will help in such classification, because if the government is wanted to reach the welfare schemes and any particular schemes that particular groups of particular caste people, then how it is possible without the data? Until unless we do not have a data, so we cannot reach to them. So now assess to the impact of affirmation action. A socio-economic caste census would help in assessing how far the extension of reservation to OBC benefited to them. So we must keep in mind that the caste census, especially for the other backward class, is somehow important, and the government must have a data to help them out.